You're here. We're here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Where am I looking right now? Right there? Awesome. Okay, cool. I'm so happy you guys are here. I literally just ran in the door. There was like a major accident on our freeway. You don't need to know that. I just want you to know I was so excited to be here, and I wanted to make sure that I could deliver you the best content in the shortest amount of time. If we haven't met, my name is Chalene Johnson. I'm a New York Times best-selling author. I'm the founder of the 131 Method. I'm also the founder of the Marketing Impact Academy. And what I love doing is helping people figure out things that were once super complicated for me. It doesn't matter what it is. If I'm gonna figure it out, I'm going to share my answers. And today, let me cut right to the chase. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna share my answers with you. This is a live training, so interact below. In fact, if you found out about this live training from an email, you'll remember that there was a little hint in there of something that you should comment below. And if you read that email, then you'll know what to comment to be entered into our drawing. We're going to give away a free set of Push journals, as well as a signed copy of my New York Times bestselling book, Push. Okay, so leave your comments below. Just tell us who you are, where you're watching from. Here's what we're going to cover in this live training. 3 parts. The first part, I'm going to teach you how to hopefully grow your Instagram or your Facebook. I'm going to teach you what it's going to require to really focus on your profile and attract the right kind of lifer, the kind of person that you're trying to connect with. That's part 1. Part 2 is I'm going to help you understand what basics you need in place to really take your business to the next level through automation, through systems, and answer those questions that many of you have about the Marketing Impact Academy. Like, what is it exactly? How does this work? What can I expect? I'm going to answer those questions for you. Part 3, you definitely want to stay tuned for, because this is going to blow your mind. Part 3, I'm going to teach you how you convert followers into customers you freaking adore. Like, it's so much fun when you love your customers. It's great to have followers, but if they're just followers, it's really not helping pay the bills. So if you're just someone who's interested in growing your social media for, I don't know, a hobby or a popularity contest, you can skip part 3. But for those of you who are like, okay, no, I need this to give me a return on my time, stay tuned for part 3. All right, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to our new students, because by the way, the whole reason why I do this once a year and I kick off this really intense, advanced training, and I make it free to the general population. Everybody has the ability to soak in this information. Is we like to do it to celebrate the kickoff of the opening of our academy, the Marketing Impact Academy. And we haven't opened it publicly in over a year. So I have to say thank you so much to those of you who waited for so long. And I want to give a big congratulations to those of you who just signed up this morning. So we have Theodore Lockhart, Julie Rollerson, Emily Lewis, Paula Lima, Shanna De Silva, Shay, Erica Curtis, Amy Gilmore, Laura Morrow. These are like names I can actually pronounce. This is so great. Claudia Ware, Rhonda, Kate Trevine, yes, Sandy Sembler, Cynthia Hugh, Core Love. What a great name, Core Love. Is that really your name, Core? That is like the coolest name ever. I hope you're branding that name. Okay, I got lost. Rachel Murphy, Catherine Bell, Stephanie Edwards, Lexi Robert. There's a whole bunch more, but I know you guys are here for the content, so let's get to it, shall we? Are people leaving their comments below? Yes. Okay, so there's people already entered into our drawing? Yes. Okay, cool, that's fun, awesome. All right, so the first thing I want to explain to you is we're going to talk about 2 things today. I'm going to talk about how to convert followers in part 3. But part 1, I want you to really think about how you can best attract new followers, if that's what you need, right? Because the idea is we want to attract people who don't know us. So the very first thing I want you to take into consideration is that the content that you're posting has to appeal to someone who doesn't know you. Like right then and there, like with just that in mind, if you look at your Instagram profile and you just scan your most recent posts, I need you to just ask yourself, is this interesting to someone who has no idea who I am? Like, is it going to serve them? Is it going to make them want to tap? And you got to be critical about this, right? Because that's who you're trying to attract. They're just going to glance at your profile. They look at the top 3 rows of your most recent posts. They maybe look at your bio. But generally, they take it in as a whole. And if it looks messy, if it looks dark, if it looks confusing, if it looks scattered, you're going to make my life more chaotic, scattered, and darker. So the likelihood of that person following is pretty low. So consider the type of content that you're posting. Now, before you can do that, you have to know who your lifer is. What is your lifer attracted to? Let me share with you an example. One of my students that I started working with, huge Instagram account, and nonetheless, it wasn't converting for her. You know, she's got programs that she offers to the person who she's trying to help. And, you know, she's very, very, very clear on who her lifer is. Her lifer is someone who has struggled with their weight, who lacks self-confidence, who had a difficult childhood, who didn't believe in themselves, who dropped out of gym class, and who thinks it's not possible for them. Someone who probably has been teased about their body and doesn't feel like they're small enough or the right size or that there's something wrong with them. That's who she wants to help. She was very, very clear on that. I'm like, perfect. But now, when I look at your page, it is the most insane, intense, unbelievable, supernatural physique, number one, that she has, and number two, things that she's doing. So you have to get into the mind of the person that you're trying to attract and ask yourself, okay, when they're looking at my page, what are they feeling? I'm in fitness. I mean, I have my own infomercials, and I look at her page, and I feel like a loser. I feel like I should work out more, and I'm never going to have a body like seriously. So you really have to go back to who you were, like back, and think about, like, is this attracting them? Another example is to think about, all right, what do I want them to feel, and what do I want them to believe, and what do I want them to know, and what is this person looking for right now? That person that she's trying to target is looking for things that they can do and be successful. They're looking for an on-ramp. And, you know, doing back handsprings into battle ropes is probably not a great place to start if you've got 50 pounds to lose. You know what I'm saying? Another example of that is another one of my students, when I first started working with them, he told me, okay, the person who I'm trying to target, I can tell you what this person is like. They're a mom, usually in their like mid-30s, maybe early 40s. They're married. Their family is very important to them. They're probably not working, or if they are, they feel really guilty about it. They're very family oriented. And very clear on, again, who his target audience is. But then when I look at his page, it's a lot of stuff of him working out, him doing networking events, like really cool stuff. But I'm thinking of I'm not 35, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I know what a 35-year-old mom is looking for, and it's not like, sorry guys, we're not looking at guys working out. Okay, Shanti's an example. I mean, an exception. Like maybe, like if you're like super ripped hot, but even still, you'd have to do it like privately because you don't want your husband to. He's like, what are you looking at over there? You're like, oh, this guy I'm going to connect with. Like, you got to think about the mindset of the person who's looking at your stuff. What is she or he looking for? And you can't do that unless you start with lifer. And then you've got to start recreating your page so it serves your lifer. Next. How often should you post? Now, this changes all the time with Instagram, and there's definitely exceptions to this general rule. Like, some people post literally 8 times a day. Viral pages, niche pages, like the kind of pages you've probably seen where it's like every single video is something funny, or like a dog video, or like a hair video, or whatever. Those kind of pages, they post up to 8, sometimes 10 times a day, and they grow very, very, very fast. But I know if I posted 10 times a day, y'all would unfollow because you're like, okay, enough already. So niche pages can post with far more frequency, and we teach you how to create a niche, or what we call a feature account, inside the Marketing Impact Academy, but maybe you already have one. But if you're talking about kind of sprucing up your own personal page, your brand, you want to think about posting about once a day, not more than that, unless it makes sense that you should. So posting once a day, generally speaking, at this moment tends to work best. I don't post every day, although I know that's the best practice, and I'll explain to you why when we get to part 3. I post about 3 times a week, and again, there's a reason why that works for me. I'm not suggesting it for you, but I will detail that in part 3. Okay, the next thing is, what time should you post? Well, it depends on your lifer. Is your lifer a student? Does your lifer live in Australia? Do you live in the Netherlands, but you're trying to post at times when people in the United States are awake? Or do you live in the Netherlands and that's who you're trying to reach is people all over the globe? Well, then you might want to have some variety in the time that you post. In general, if you're trying to reach people in your time zone, then think about what times your lifer checks their phone. You know, so most people check it first, unfortunately, first thing in the morning and when they get off of work and before they go to bed. But the strongest, heaviest percentage of people check it first thing in the morning in your time zone. So just take a look at when that's happening. And by the way, if you have business insights turned on your Instagram or on your Facebook analytics, you can see what times you've posted and which posts are performing the best. How are we doing? Any questions so far, guys? You hit me up with those, guys, because this is live and I really do enjoy answering those questions that you have. Anything about that thus far? Everybody's just listening. We're good. Everyone.
No questions. Is everybody telling us what they're from?
I love it. Okay, cool. All right, so that's excellent. So the next thing I want to get to is when you are thinking about your profile page and you're thinking about your life and you're thinking about the type of content that you should post, I really want you to start with that very detailed description of your lifer. And I want you to think about what emotions he or she is feeling. I want you to think about what he or she is looking at on Instagram. And I also want you to do one more thing to clean up your profile, okay? I want you to unfollow inactive accounts. Now, there are lots of apps that will do this for you, and they'll show you in one simple click how many of the people you're following are inactive. And you want to unfollow those people. Now, you don't want to unfollow like 1,000 people in a day, but you do need to start unfollowing inactive accounts, number one. Number two is you need to unfollow any accounts that are completely irrelevant to your target audience. Now, if you're like, oh, but Chalene, my target audience is I'm looking for people who are looking for cosmetic dentistry, and I happen to follow these funny dog accounts and these funny meme accounts, and I love the hip hop, but if it has nothing to do, unfortunately, with your target audience, then it's hurting your reach. And you can create another private account that you just use to look at that stuff if you want. And you can follow anybody your heart's desire. But if you're in business, I hope I don't even have to say this at this point, but if you have a private account, that makes no sense. That's like having a close sign on your door. It's equally a disservice to you to follow a bunch of accounts that don't have anything to do with your target audience. So ideally, you want to follow bigger accounts that kind of match the type of, so the person who would be, for example, looking for cosmetic dentistry, you want to follow a few other bigger accounts that are doing that. Because then what happens is you begin interacting with them and commenting, and guess what? They're going to start interacting and commenting on your stuff. And then, get this, the algorithm starts to populate. Anyone who's looking at their stuff, they're like, hey, you might want to see this person's stuff too, because they see you as related. So what you're trying to do is help algorithm show your content on the Explore page, and that's the best way to reach a boatload of brand new followers. The next best way to reach a boatload of brand new followers is to, of course, use well-selected hashtags. If you watch my previous episode, I think we did in 2 and in 3, that's where you'll get more details about hashtags and the best ones to use. But in general, to quickly summarize, don't use hashtags that don't have anything to do with the photo you're posting. Be careful with the hashtags you're using. As of right now, it doesn't matter whether it's in the caption or in the comment, although you'll hear people say definitively you can post here or you can't post there. We've tested this up until last week, and I can tell you it didn't matter. So that could change, but at the moment, just be careful and be thoughtful about the hashtags that you select, because it really does make a difference. Okay, and then the next thing you need to know is the type of profile posts that are performing the best, and they are number one, a static image. I know it's really tempting to post videos because that's what we're doing a lot of, but static images tend to do the best and get the best engagement, but nothing surpasses the carousel post. The carousel post, for those of you who are unclear, is when you have the option of posting several different either photos or up to 1-minute videos in one post. So you'll see a little square icon in the upper corner of the Instagram, And then you just know to swipe, and every time you swipe, it's either a new photo or a new video. And those do the best if you're giving people a reason why they would want to save it. So a DIY, something that's really, people want to go back and see it again later. That's really key. It's helpful to people. They're like, oh, this actually makes my life a little easier. I was wondering how to make that, or I was wondering how to put that outfit together, or I was curious what process people go through to pick a healthcare provider. Like whatever it is, you can create a carousel that makes things a little easier for people. And when they save it, that increases your frequency of being seen by existing followers and, of course, potentially new followers. So any questions on some of those tips? Because we will still get to how to convert those followers into customers, basically, right? Because I really do hope at this point you're not just playing around with social media. You're using it as the incredible gift that it is, like a platform to really reach some incredible, like just to feel good about the knowledge that you have and to help other people and to take advantage of the fact that it's free. Like Instagram is freaking free. It's insane that you can reach so many people right now. It's really, I don't know how long this will be around, because there have been changes already that I said, oh, you know what, this is gonna go away, and it has. So you have to believe that, because some of these things will go away, and they do. Okay, so any questions about Instagram? Comment below for me, and I will take a look at those. Stay tuned. Yes?
They want to know the difference between the business account and a personal one. If there's a preference, you should have both or one or the other.
Excellent. So the question is, should you have a business account or a personal account? If you are in the business of being in business, or if you plan to someday, you need to be a business account because you see all of the insights. If you're starting a brand new account, I've heard, and we haven't tested this, but I have heard that if you're starting a brand new account from scratch, you have 0 followers, you want to start a niche account, I've heard, again, this is purely speculative, that if you start off as a personal account, you tend to get a little bit more reach in the beginning, but you quickly want to convert to a business account, because it's only with a business account, that you have access to all these super cool, amazing features. Like all of the things that I taught up until this point, so many of them you can only see what you're doing if you have a business account for those insights. And as I say, you can only improve those things that you can measure. So if if the only thing you're using to measure your success on Instagram is your likes, you're gonna be depressed, right? All right, that's part 1. Part 2, I wanted to answer questions for those of you who have been very curious about if you're in the right position. Like, is it the right time for you to invest in a program like the Marketing Impact Academy, and what is it? So I want to break that down for you. If you're already a Marketing Impact Academy member, by the way, this whole training will be in your academy. And for those of you who are really curious about turning your business or your Instagram, your social, into something that makes you profits, you got to stay tuned for part 3. And listen to this, because you're going to be inspired by some ideas. Like creative people, when you hear someone like me, like talking about these things, if you're just sitting there and just taking notes and thinking about it, I swear to you, there's something sparks in your brain, and you're gonna have a creative brainstorm like right now. So do not leave this part, because I'm gonna talk to you about those kinds of people. And when you start giving yourself permission to think that way and block everything else out, it is crazy the cool business ideas you're gonna have right now. So first of all, what is the Marketing Impact Academy? It is an online virtual mentorship, if you want, or coaching program where you have the ability to work with myself and a team of experts. What you'll do is you join the academy and we walk you through step by step, including screen flows, and hold you accountable to set up the most important foundations of your business. So we start by helping you readdress who your lifer is. Like, I think you probably know who your lifer is, but if you're not in the Marketing Impact Academy, this is a process that's very different from figuring out what your avatar is or your target audience. Like, we do that too, but your lifer changes the game. It changes the way you deliver. It changes how comfortable you feel on camera and how you're able to show up authentically as you. So that's the very first thing. And I don't care if you've been in business for 20 years. When you go through this lesson, I get messages all the time. People are like, that alone blew my mind. I have been missing so many of these important pieces. The next step, because by the way, the reason why I created the Marketing Impact Academy was because I myself was trying to find like all these pieces that I need to grow my business, and this person would say that, and this person would say that, and I was just like, okay, once I'd done all the things, I'm like, okay, what order should this have been done in? And let's put that in that order, and then let's teach that order to people. And then better than that, let's keep people accountable to this, because y'all know you have ADD. You know you do. You know you start on something, you're like, yeah, that's it. And then you see something over there, you're like, I should start a podcast. You know, that's the creative in us. We get easily distracted. So I wanted to create a program that like basically forced you to do the right things first. And then beyond that, so those first really 7, 8 pieces, we walk you through in the right order. So that, because it doesn't make any sense to start like revamping your social media if you haven't like dialed in your branding. If you don't know inside and out your lifer, and you haven't figured out like her emotions and what she's looking for and what turns her off and what turns her on and what attracts her to you, then you are going to kill yourself wasting a whole bunch of time trying to grow a social media account, and you're wondering why you're getting less and less engagement and why those people aren't turning into customers. So we walk you through all those basic steps. Now, beyond that though, I've designed the Academy so that it has like everything you need for the rest of your business life. Like more than you'll ever need, but it's there like as a library. I didn't design it for you to go all the way through it. Like people go, how many days is this? I'm like, how long is your life? I mean, literally, it's got everything for you. But you might not ever want to start a podcast, but it's over there if you want it. But I'm not going to let you look at it until you set up these 7. Why? Because I'm tough love. Because I do not believe in BS. It drives me freaking crazy that so many people are trying to sell you things that you're going to need, but not now. You don't need them now. They're a waste of time if you do it right now because you didn't set up the foundation. But all those extra things are there, whether it's learning how to run paid advertising or figuring out how to create a better converting website, like how to get people to give you their email address and how do you sell on camera without being salesy. You might not need to know that right now because you're like, I don't even know what my thing is. I don't even know what my idea is. I'm going to teach, all of that is there for you when you're ready for it, but you're going to set up the basics, and it's really simple. I didn't say it's easy, but it's simple. It's just following steps. Each one of the lessons is created for you on audio, or you can read the transcript, or you can watch the video. It depends on what type of learner you are. A lot of you are podcast listeners. You prefer to learn like this. It's crazy how you really do, when you pop in earbuds, you pay attention. It's weird. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't do other things. Like if I'm listening to something on my earbuds, I'm not also taking in other forms of social media. So we give you that option. You can just pop it in, listen to the audio training. You'll also download the PDFs that become your workbook. So that when you do each lesson, you're not like just thinking about it and daydreaming about it. You have an action plan. I'm a stickler for pushing people to take action. It's a program that's designed for people who don't have any clue, no idea what they want to do, but they have a burning desire to do something. This is not for you if you don't have a burning desire to do something. It's not. And it's not for you if you have no faith in yourself whatsoever. Please work on your confidence, work on belief in yourself first. But for those of you like, yeah, I believe I can follow instructions, I just don't know what it is, this is where you start. And for those of you who are like, I already know what I'm doing, I already love my business, but financially we're not in a position right now to do this, I have to say, look at any one of the hundreds of our most successful students, neither did they. I didn't create this for people who are rolling in dough and their business is like booming. They don't need Marketing Impact Academy. I created this for people who were like me, who were broke, who felt guilty about doing yet another training that would only lead to the realization that there's something more I needed to do. I was like, no, I'm gonna give people friggin' everything. I wanna give them a ridiculous amount, even if they never need it, and I'm gonna force them to do the most important things first, because I'm a mom, and I'm gonna become your big sister, and make sure you do those things. But like when I hear people say, I'm going to save up to do Marketing Impact Academy next year. And then you know what they say to me the next year? I'm going to save up to do Marketing Impact Academy next year. You know what? Money's really tight right now, so I'm going to save up. So the only thing that would make that possible is if your business starts booming, in which case you probably don't need the Marketing Impact Academy. Like, let that sink in for a second, because that's a fact. Most people, they need this because they've been trying to figure it out themselves, and you're welcome to do that. You are welcome to dig into YouTube and podcast, and all the information's out there, you guys. I'm telling you it is, but not in the right order. And not with someone who's going to say, this is what you do, and let me show you how to do it, like ScreenFlow version style. Like I literally said, when we create this, we're not going to just go tell people to set up a website. We're going to walk them through it. Like we're going to say, like, here's where you put your name, and here's where you put the photo, and here's the kind of photo that you should pick. And you don't want to have a photo where someone's looking off to the side, because then you're going to lose the interest of your viewer. Those kinds of things. So that's what the Marketing Impact Academy is. It is a program that gives you lifetime access, because frankly, this year, if you're just starting out, you probably don't need some of the more advanced stuff, but it's going to be there for you and updated when you're ready. It's a program that allows you to go through it at your own pace. It's a program that teaches you not just what, but how to do it. And it is my very best teachings. Everything that I've learned over the last 20 years, building 8 different businesses in 8 different categories, like completely different industries. So this works for anyone regardless of your industry. The foundation is the same. Physical product, network marketers, personal brands, people who have an in-person practice like doctors and lawyers and dentists and chiropractors, physical therapists. Those of you who are trying to sell something like on Etsy or Shopify or Amazon, the foundation is the same. Whether you're trying to build your team and spread your message for nonprofits, like the basics are really the same. Beyond that, after we get through those basics, and there's lots of little things where you're like, oh, that's exactly what I was looking for. And you don't have to spend another $20,000 on a mentorship that you weren't ready for, or a mastermind that you don't, that's great, you spend all that money and you're hobnobbing with all these people, but you ain't got your basics in place. You know, it's wonderful that you're spending another fortune on another weekend training to get some stuff that's awesome and is legitimate, but you don't have your foundation buttoned down. You don't have to waste $200,000 going back to school to get an MBA. You know, what you need is someone who's willing to share their answers. So that's exactly what we do inside the Marketing Impact Academy. And this year we've made it more affordable than ever. You can join today, one payment of $357, and you start. You'll have 5 payments after that, but you pay one payment today of $357 and you start. Okay, and I know what you're thinking. Okay, I start today. Yeah, and you get access to the tools that you need to start in the right place, in the right order. And then you've got 45 days. This is something we've never done before. You've got 45 days with my promise of a money-back guarantee. So if you're like, it's just over my head, or I'm trying these things and it's not working for me, fine, then we'll give you a full refund. But our experience has been anyone who's got the desire, even if they don't know exactly what it is, if you've got the desire and you're smart enough to bake a cake, like follow instructions, simple instructions, you're going to be successful. And the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. The stronger your desire, not clarity of where you're going, not that's going to come. But the desire has to be there. If you've got the desire, we will make this happen together. So today's your opportunity to join. This is the very last live training I'm going to do. This is the very last opportunity for you. This is the day we close the Marketing Impact Academy. We were maybe hoping to stay open until Friday, but however, we had so many people register this morning, I think they were out trick-or-treating last night, that today will be our very last day. So you need to take action, and I want to help you do that. And I know it's really easy to talk yourself out of these things because that self-doubt creeps in where you're like, I don't know if I'm ready. It's going to be tough financially, all those things. So let me make this easier for you to take action. for the first 50 people. Did we tell people I'm going to do this, Brett? Okay, everyone in my office is shaking their head right now because I've never, ever done this before. The next 50 people who sign up for the Marketing Impact today, I'm going to sign you up and we're going to do a Zoom call. We're going to do a Zoom call that will teach you the mindset that you need to crush this. It's going to be like your kickoff. Like this is the stuff that really keeps people motivated and makes us happen, like that accountability. So that's for the first 50 people right now who are like, okay, that's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is it. You feel that and you go, you take action. Never done this before. So I might get in trouble. My staff is looking at me like, when are you going to do it? Trust me. I'm so excited about this, and I've been just reading the comments of my new students. I love you guys. I'm really passionate about helping you figure this out. And you can. If someone else has done it before, why can't you? So it's one payment of $357. There's a lifetime access to the content. It's continually being updated. We update almost anything that needs to be updated, right? Like, so if nothing's changed on Pinterest in the last couple of weeks, we don't update it. But if it's changed and it affects how you can reach people in your business, we update all that content. We have experts who serve inside the academy to know everything about their platform, so you don't have to, and you don't have to rely on one person. It's not just my opinion. You have lifetime access to that. You can get started today, 5 additional payments after that, and to make it a little bit easier for you, I want to bless you with just an additional reward for taking that scary action step. Every year from around the globe, people come in for our live Marketing Impact Academy event. This is kind of like, it's something we do here in Southern California, and I invite in the best leaders in marketing, social media, and business building, and they come to my stage and I say, you're invited to my stage if you share your answers. If you're willing to pull back the curtain and show us how you do stuff, then I want you on my stage. And I'm very particular about the people that, I'm sharing with you. Like, I'm very protective. So we have just the most remarkable people that show up to that live event. It's why we sell out every year. The tickets are $2,000 a piece. You don't have to be a Marketing Impact Academy member to go to the live event, but the tickets are $2,000. So right now, today, when you take action, I'm going to give you 2 tickets. So that's a $4,000 value. And that's really important because that means for the price of a ticket, you're getting all of this, the huge academy, plus a live event. And frankly, the people who and I say this every year, the people who just show up to the live event, they're getting some frosting. We don't teach the foundational stuff at the live event. That's in the academy. The live event is for those extras, fun, it's entertainment, it's exciting, it's a great place for you to network and meet people in the same position as you, but the real work is done inside the academy. So for an investment of what one person would pay for 1 ticket, that gives them like 3 days worth of content, you're gonna get a lifetime worth of that plus the 2 tickets, $4,000 value. And better than that, I'm going to give you the digital recordings of every year of live events that we've done for Marketing Impact, because we've had some incredible people teaching us how to do a launch start to finish, how to publicize your own book, how to start your own podcast. Experts on my stage have shared exactly what it takes to build a private mentorship group. Like all of these people, and that information, you didn't miss it. I'm gonna give you the digital recordings from 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. So it's 5 years worth of digital recordings of our event. That's a $10,000 value for taking action immediately. That's the key. You got to feel that desire and decide, okay, I can do this. Now, all of those things are only available for those people who sign up today. Those bonuses do go away. And in fact, as I've said, our registration, once we reach capacity, we'll actually have to close registration. So I wouldn't wait. Why would you wait? If you're asking yourself if this is for you, let me give you a quick checklist so you can know if this is for you. Do you want to do something more? Do you want to have something more? Do you need more money? Do you want to reach more people and feel more significant and have it be a lot easier? Are you trying to build your own personal brand and stand out? Are you in a network marketing organization and you just feel like a clone and you're like, I love this thing that I'm a part of, I love it, but I suck at the business side of this? And you're learning from all the same people who are doing all the same things. Do you want to stand out? Do you want something more? Do you want multiple streams of income? Do you want to keep your full-time job, but dabble with something on the side to see if you can develop a side hustle? This is for you. If you don't know exactly what it is, but you do want something more and you have desire and you have passion, this is for you. The person who this is not for is somebody who they're just not happy with their life, but they just don't believe in themselves. Because it really starts with belief in yourself, right? I'm not talking about the type of confidence that you have 24/7, because nobody has that. But if you've got the ability to pull it up when you need it, you know what I'm talking about. You've been in situations where you're like, I got to pull up something right now that I didn't know I have, and you pull it up and you pull the trigger. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you need to do, where you just go, okay, I can do this right now. I can take action, because only outside of our comfort zone, only when you're uncomfortable, does great stuff happen. And for those of you who are like, financially, I just can't afford to do this, I'm already in debt up to your eyeballs, I'm not going to suggest that you should do something that puts you further in debt. And this will put you further in debt if you're not a doer. If you don't know how to follow steps, let me just be very honest, this is not for you. It's not a magic bullet. You don't buy it and it's like, oh, look it, Chalene came over and built my business. No, it doesn't work that way. But if you've got a desire and you're like, I get it. If someone would just show me the steps and hold my hand and force me to do the right things at the right order, I will do this. Then this is for you, and this is your moment. And don't kick yourself because you wait another year thinking that next year things will be just right, because they never are. Today's the day. So click that button, don't wait, so that you can be one of those first 50 people that will earn themselves an opportunity to do a private Zoom call with me, and we'll talk about the mindset that you'll need to crush this. I want to give a shout out to some folks who have made that decision today. This is really exciting. So I love that you did this. I love that you felt that fear and you did it anyways. You won't hear from one person who signs up today who is like, I just didn't. I wasn't even nervous about it. I have so much money laying around. I just pulled some out of my pocket. No, like all these people are like, I'm ready to go. And they felt the same thing you did. Carrie Clark, Donnie Mangos, Stacy Wadu, Brian Peters, Tanya Ampins, Lindsay Schroeder, Haas Cox, and Karen Jardine. Oh, hi, Karen. Brenda Coranda, Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts? Oh my gosh. Is it the Julia Roberts, you think? Well, I haven't seen her in a lot of movies lately. Next. So great, guys. Such a long list, and we're going to get to more of those, but I do want to get to part 3 because I know a lot of you want to figure out how do you take those followers and turn them into customers. Well, one of the most important ways that you do that is by letting people understand who you are, like figuring out your personal brand. And that's a process that I take you through. It's very different from what other people teach. The way I teach you to understand what your brand is and what makes you uniquely attractive is the thing that often helps people in just about any industry, a very competitive industry, stand out. All the time I'll hear people say, well, should I do this? It seems like there's a lot of people doing it. There's a lot of people doing everything. There's a lot of people doing everything. Don't worry about that. There's no one who does it quite the way you do it. And one of the things that this program will help you do is figure out your personal brand. I want to share with you some people who've done that. Look, this is a really quick clip, and then you're going to come back to me, but I want to introduce you to some people who are part of big organizations, all of whom, all the people you're about to see, were either in network marketing, direct sales, or doing something where a lot of people are selling the exact same thing. And inside the Marketing Impact Academy, 2 things happen. Number 1, they figure out how to be their own brand. And number 2, they recognize that there are alternative streams of passive income available to them that allow them to use their gifts, their passion, and their purpose. So we'll go to this group. Fantastic.
Following what she provides in the training, and that is in turn what grew my business the 2 to 3 times and allowed me to have more time. It was insane to see the growth, and just the system of how she broke it down to be able to create that capture was so simple for me to be able to do and get right up, done right away and get going.
Marketing Impact Academy taught me how to brand myself. Everything that I've learned from Marketing Impact Academy has really helped me create a full-fledged business where we're making multiple 6-figure incomes in just a 12-month period.
So I was in my health and fitness business for 4 years. So when I started Market Impact, that year I added as many people as in the 4 years. Market Impact gave me the freedom and more income, and I started to connect with the people that I needed to connect with.
I had followed Chalene for so long. I realized that I could have more of her insight and her systems and the things that she had already been through, and she was willing and passionate about teaching it. The fact that if we applied these steps, we'll make it back easily as long as we take action on what we learn.
Residual income is happening. I was able to follow everything step by step, go back and rewatch anything that I needed to do. Our business has grown, and it has also created peace in our house.
So there's no reason why that can't be you. I think sometimes we're too close to our own situation, though, to figure out what our personal brand is, like what makes us uniquely special. And that's why having a process to do that together is so useful. And then once you're finished, you've got this PDF basically that you print out and you filled out all the information, and that's your action plan. And this isn't just a program, because this is a funny question I got earlier this week. Someone goes, is this just for ladies? I'm like, why? Why would it be? No, absolutely not. This is for anyone who's, as I said, looking to build a business or looking to create extra income. And again, it doesn't have to be those of you who just have online businesses or desire for online businesses. I want to introduce you to a couple things, a couple of guys, a couple of dudes who found out about this because their wives started the program and then they started incorporating it in some cases. And in other cases where they had a brick and mortar, but they weren't making money unless they were there seeing people or in their practice. If they weren't spending time away from their family, they weren't making money, and they wanted to, see what their potential was, see what their earning potential was without having to work more hours. So check these out, because these are very inspirational.
From when I started Marketing Impact Academy, I made back my investment in 5 weeks. In 8 months, Marketing Impact Academy have done what it took me 6 years to do in my physical therapy business. 7 months in a row, we've hit records. And I just did what you said. That's it. It has met my expectations and more.
It's allowed me to 10x my business. It gave us a vehicle to serve so many other people that we never would have been able to reach. You're learning from someone who has been there and done that and is living the very thing that they're teaching you.
Since plugging into Marketing Impact Academy, we've tripled our business. It's just completely changed my lifestyle and my business. If you're plugged into something like Marketing Impact Academy, where it gets updated as these new technologies are coming out, you're ahead of the curve. And if you can be first somewhere, you win.
Created a course called Video Ranking Academy, and we did $10,000. And then we followed that up shortly after, and that doubled. MIA is a path to do that, and she gives you the right things to do in the right order in a way that you can understand and implement. You're gonna get results, hands down, period.
And in that 2-hour span, I made about over $3,000. And while I'm spending time with my son, or putting him to sleep, or playing with him, or going on vacation, I could still be making money. And that's when it hit me that this works.
Awesome, so cool. Isn't that great, the story about Carlos? What I love about his story is he was a total skeptic. He's like, I'm not techie, I'm a soccer coach. How am I going to create extra income as a soccer coach? Am I going to make videos that teach people skills? Because I don't think that's going to work. That was his opinion. Because I got to work with the kid. But through the process of going through the questionnaires, understanding what it is that makes him unique, he discovered that what what parents found most valuable about working with him is he understood how to get those kids scholarships. So the program that he created really wasn't about skills. It was about something that was incredibly valuable that he didn't even think of. It's something he was giving away for free, advice every single day to the parents of the kids that he was coaching. But now he was able to market that advice and save parents, in some cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars by teaching them exactly what they needed to know to put themselves in an incredible position, if they were good enough, to be recruited, like how to get a scholarship. And created that course, and literally, you heard him, like, that's such a powerful feeling. And even if it's something that you don't create, like, it is such a powerful feeling. We call it a baby offer. When you set up a web page, which we teach you how to do, and you just have an overnight sale. Like, let's say you don't have any clue what you're going to sell, and you just don't even know at all at this stage. We teach you how to just identify a product or something simple that you can import, and you don't even have to carry the merchandise for it, and sell it on Shopify and on Amazon. And I'm telling you, like a $7 little gadget, we call it a baby offer, or something small that people are like, oh, okay, I just want to dip my toe in. I don't have the money to spend to create this whole system. We teach you how to use free available software and upgrade later if you want. But why start with the paid stuff? There's so many free tools out there right now to build a business online. And when you get that first sale, I know it sounds crazy, but it's why I start with a baby offer. Because then you're like, oh, dude, I just made $7. And it's weird, it's crazy. Like you go, boop, mindset shift. And then you're like, okay, so strangers just bought something from me in like another state at midnight. Okay, this is gonna be something. And that's why I start with a baby offer, because I need you to feel that. I need you to feel what it's like so that you start to believe in yourself, right? Because I personally think if you can just get people to take action, the beliefs will come later. You just need some proof. So I want to say congratulations to Tabitha Kester, Sarah Munoz Blanco, Cheryl Hess, is it Misty? Yes, Misty Marius, Wendy Livingstone. There's so many people right now that I'm really excited. I don't know if we've filled up yet with our 50 first people, but I can tell you what, these folks for sure are going to be on that Zoom call with me. What that Zoom call, this is for those of you who are going to take scary, bold action today, because you're already telling me who you are. You're already telling me that you feel the fear, you're not 100% positive, but you're going to put faith in yourself and you believe that you can do this. And I want to work with you. I want to kick you off in the right way and help you understand that there are habits that help you develop this muscle. People aren't born with confidence. People aren't born with the mindset that they can do anything. People aren't born with the belief that it's okay to fail. That's a habit. And it can be strengthened just like your biceps through exercises and through habits and through mindset. And that's what I want to start you off with. So on that Zoom call, that's what we're going to do, and really help you revisit those habits daily that will build belief in yourself and build the confidence where you know, like, okay, I can pull this off. Like if you believe you can pull something off, you do it, right? Your beliefs dictate the outcome. And I want to help you create that outcome before you even start. So I want to say congratulations to those of you. I'm really, really excited to be working with you. All right, let's get to part 3, shall we? We shall. Listen, don't delay though, but I'm going to be teaching part 3. You can come back, you can watch a replay of this, but what you won't be able to do is join MIA after we fill up. Allison's here, and every time the day after, she's like, oh, I've got this person, and they said they didn't know, and right, Allison? Yes, and they're like, and I was on the road, and I tried to enter my credit card, and there's always a story, and it's like, we know, but we've been open for several days, and this is it. So, snooze and you lose, legit, snooze and you lose. This is the prime time, so don't wait. Close the video out where you're watching me right now. You just click the little X. Is it in the right or in the left? Is it over here? Over here. Click the little X. That'll shrink the video down, and you'll see that little button that says Get Started. When you click that button, then you select your payment option. Do you want to do a 6-pay so that you don't have to invest $357 today? Or do you want to save and pay it all up front? You can do that too. We accept credit card, PayPal, PayPal credit. You'll also see all of those bonuses, $17,000 in bonuses for taking action today, our best courses. You know, I didn't even mention to you what we're giving you. I forgot to tell you. I'm gonna give you my Shopify mini course where you learn how even very busy college students who don't have an idea of what they wanna sell, how they're able to set up a Shopify, identify something that they want to import, and start making money online. I'm also gonna give you our affiliate mini course. What's that? Well, an affiliate means that you love something so much that you're telling people about it, and then whenever somebody purchases it using your link, you get paid. We'll teach you how to set that up on your YouTube videos, your Instagrams. I know that you follow people on social media who are like, hey guys, I'm really excited about blah, blah, blah. And there's like, yeah, and by the way, you get a discount, click the link below. Well, what you're doing is you're clicking their affiliate link. And we're gonna teach you how to do that, hopefully the ethical way, because can I just say, it is my pet peeve that people promote things and pretend that they use things that they don't use. It's not right, but that's your choice. But we're gonna teach you how to become someone who shares your favorite products with people, and why not get a little commission back from some of those bigger companies. So we're gonna give you that affiliate course, and yes, we're going to give you Brock Johnson's Instagram course, Help with Hashtags. And he's always updating that. That's an incredible course. A lot of people had very quick growth from that. People have doubled their accounts in less than a month. So all of those bonuses, plus the 2 tickets, plus the 5 years worth of digital recordings of our previous events, plus access to our private Facebook group, plus lifetime membership to the Marketing Impact Academy, which is always getting better. P.S. Always, always, always getting better. All right, part 3, are we ready? Yes. All right, let's do this. Okay, so if part 1 we talked about how to grow your followers, in part 3 I want to share with you why it is I only post 3 times per week. I came to the realization that I have we collectively here at Team Johnson, we manage I think over 2 million followers, accounts with over 2 million followers on Instagram. But my personal account has over 500,000. What am I at, like 580? Something like that, like almost 600,000. And I started looking at it, I'm like, why do I need more followers? It's like, if you've got a bunch of great friends and you never get to see them, why do you need more friends, right? You should actually probably invest in the ones that you have. So this is my own personal decision. I felt like, who needs more than 500,000 followers? I don't need more followers, I need to go deep. And I need to clean house, and I need to have a whole bunch of people unfollow me, so that I can provide for the people who are here because they're my lifers. The people who get it, who trust me, who have put their faith in me, and I need to serve them better. So I'm going to do that in my stories. I don't need to focus on growing my account. That was my personal decision. And I've talked to many people who've started to follow the same idea. Do you have 1,000 followers? Do you need more than 1,000? If you're going deep with them, typically speaking, that's enough new customers for you. But do they know you? Do they like you? Do they trust you? Have you served them? And I feel like the best place for me to do that is in my DMs and inside of my stories. It's in my stories where I can produce a ton of content that actually serves those people, and they get to know me. They get to know me by following the formula that we talked about in my last training, which was part 3, right? Was that part 3? Part 3, I covered the REDIC formula. That formula ensures that when I follow it, that I am going deep with the people who follow me on stories. And I stick to that formula because that allows me to create those conversations. So the first thing I want you to know is that you kind of need to decide how you want to divide your time. If you don't have enough followers right now, if you've got under 100 followers, you may need to build your following. But if you're looking, you're like, I have a lot of followers. I've got enough to, if these people are actually paying attention, I could really build something amazing. And if that's the case, then you might divide your time. Or if you've got a ton of followers, but they're not converting, then I tell you, spend a whole bunch of your time thinking about how you can better serve in your stories. Not just entertaining, not just posting stuff that's like, oh, this is interesting to my best friend, but like it serves people. That's how you use your stories to convert followers into customers. And P.S., you have to be okay with a whole bunch of people unfollowing. Because if you're delivering the type of content that helps your lifer and somebody unfollows, they weren't your lifer. They weren't your lifer. So unless you're trying to be a social media influencer and you just need big numbers, then you really have to think about why you're doing this. Who is it you're trying to help? And it's usually someone who's a lot like you before you figured out what you figured out today. You've figured out a lot of things. You just are probably discounting them, but you've figured out a lot of things that could help a lot of people. The DMs is where I have those conversations. Now, how do you sell? How do you sell on Instagram? You ready? Here's the answer. Anybody want to guess? Good point. Other than ads, unless you're running Instagram ads, that was a great point, Cherie. Other than that, you don't sell on Instagram. You don't. That's why people are like, I'm not getting customers. You're not going to get customers from Instagram. You weren't meant to. It wasn't designed that way. I mean, with the exception of maybe clothing companies, because I've bought a few things, you know what I'm saying? But they actually were ads, now that I think about it. That Carbon 38 is just following me around Instagram. I'm like, I don't need to see another pair of yoga pants. Please stop. I have a problem, and this is unethical. You keep following me, and I keep buying more yoga pants. But other than that, most people, we aren't buying directly from someone's story. We're deciding if we like them and trust them. And if you're following the Ridic formula, you're capturing them. You're here today, most likely not because you are watching from Instagram. You probably clicked a link. I probably sent you that link via DM, or you were already on my email list. We don't sell on social media. We build relationships, and we build trust, and we start dialogues. So how could you do that? How do you get to that point? Well, first you have to have your basics set up. Yo, I'm not just saying this for my own health. It's the honest truth, and no one tells you this. If you don't have those foundational pieces in place, lifer, brand, an opt-in page, like the page where people go to get something for free from you, if you don't have your website set up, if you don't have a way that you're communicating with people on a regular basis using email, you are at the mercy of social media, and no wonder you are burnt out. No wonder you are frustrated. No wonder you are exhausted and questioning your ability to do this and thinking like, well, maybe I'm doing something that turns people off. No, maybe you skip those basic steps. If you just even miss one of them, you guys, it's not going to work. Those 7 foundational, really 8 if you consider the skill that it requires to get people to take action without selling. If you look at all those 8, if you just miss one of those, you're not going to succeed. They're critical elements. And whenever I see someone who was like, they were kind of killing it for a little while and then their business just fades away, it's because one of those pieces is missing, one of them. So if you're going to make a difference, you've got to sell outside of social media, and you need to know how to get people from social media to be curious to visit you outside of Instagram. And that's a pain in the butt, right? I don't want to leave Instagram. You better give me a good reason, and I better trust you, and I better like you, and you better not screw me over, right? So the process of that is building dialogue. It's connecting with your real lifers. And for those of you who are like, oh gosh, one-on-one, not necessarily, but it's creating that daily dialogue. It feels like a dialogue. It doesn't feel like you're being, I don't know, like people are showing off, if you will, like their lifestyle, or wasting your time by posting things that are just completely uninteresting and not relatable. That's the kind of story that will not convert a follower into a customer. A customer is someone who you can build that relationship with. They see you as someone who delivers value, someone that they can relate to, someone who entertains, enlightens, educates, motivates, and they really have gotten to know you through Instagram stories. That's the place to make that happen. So let's talk about specifically how you can do this. One of the things I talked about in part 3 was the importance of using the poll feature. So I want to share with you a really simple way that you can use the poll feature to go deep. Now, this isn't going to work for those of you who are trying to sell like a $7 product, but if you are willing to spend a little bit of time connecting with people, I promise that these things will convert followers into customers you adore. Like not just customers, like your favorite people. So yesterday I posted, are you still interested in the Marketing Impact Academy? Yes or no thanks, right? So anyone who posted yes, that means they're still interested and they have questions. So that's an opportunity for me to DM every single person and say, okay, how can I help? What questions do you have? What are you trying to figure out? I don't want this to pass you by and you not have your questions answered. So each person I went through and I copied and pasted the same response, which was, actually I just used the quick reply and just said, okay, I'm here, what questions do you have? Now, I couldn't respond to their questions, all of their questions, with a quick reply because every person's different. But what I was able to do is figure out the people who believed in themselves. Like, if people were like, I have no idea, I fail at everything, my marriage is failing, my life is failing, my health is failing, and will this work for me? I'm like, wah, wah. Probably not. Like, those aren't the people who I'm going to invest time. I need to hear like a little belief, like a desire. And for those people, whatever their question was, I would respond to them personally. And oftentimes with a video. A video last night, like me answering questions. Like, let me give you an example. One gal who reached out to me and said, I do grief counseling for teenagers and kids. And I'm like, okay, first of all, hello, my heart. And I want to know if this is right for me, but I also need to get certified to do this. So, and the price of the certification and the cost of Marketing Impact are pretty close. So which one should I do? I'm like, I have to be honest with her. So I just turned on my video. I'm sweaty, like for me, no makeup. There's always lashes. But like hat on, like a hot mess sweatshirt, like my evening uniform, like I'm gonna watch a documentary uniform. I just opened up my phone. I'm like, listen, first of all, I love what you do. And here's my advice to you. Do what you need to do. When I wanted to become a personal trainer, I didn't have any idea how to have more customers. I didn't know how to build a business. But I also thought that I needed to get personal training certified. So I spent my money getting certified, and never once did anyone ever ask me about any of my certifications. Never, not even once. I never had a client who was like, oh, can you tell me who you're certified with? And it's not even required here in the States. So what I should have done was figured out how to start, like done a training that taught me how to, the business side of personal training. Like I didn't know how to charge clients and what to do when they canceled or how to find clients. I didn't know any of that. So it took me a very long time to figure that out. Meanwhile, no one ever asked for my certification. So that was my own answer. But I said, I don't know your industry. Maybe if you're required to get certified, then yeah, you should get certified. But if you need to reach more people, a certification is not likely going to teach you how to do that. So if you need to reach more people, it's Marketing Impact, but the decision is yours. Now, within about 2 minutes of sending that, because the message was 2 minutes long, I got a reply back from her. She's like, okay, thank you. I just made my decision. I'm becoming a Marketing Impact Academy student. So congratulations, love you. That was such a great experience for me last night because I know you're going to be able to help a lot of kids, a lot of teens. And I imagine that comes from a very personal place. So I'm really proud of you. But that interaction means a lot to people, especially when you're honest. You know, when you're like, like people will say to me sometimes, like, is this the right thing for me? And I'll give them an honest answer. I don't think it is right now. It sounds like, probably not the right thing. Well, yeah, it is. You just need to believe in yourself and pull the trigger. What are you friggin' waiting for? It depends on it's an honest answer. Now, here's a tip. Write this down. This is how I record those messages. If you've watched my Instagram story, you've probably noticed I can keep people on longer than most people on their stories because my stories are continuous. Now, if you watch most people's stories, they start and stop every 15 seconds. And you can tell when they stopped, when it's been interrupted, and then when the next one starts, they kind of waste the first 3 seconds recapping what they said at the end of the last one. I don't do any of that because I record all of mine just on video. I use my Snapchat app and I record a 1 minute, whatever it is I need to say. Like, so for that young lady who I replied to, I recorded her 2 full Snapchat videos, right? Now, if you don't have Snapchat, you can just open up the video camera on your smartphone and record for a minute. Then you pull that video into an app, write this down, or somebody put it in the comments for us, Cut Story, okay? All I do, it takes like literally 6 seconds. I pull that video into Cut Story, I tap Instagram, and it goes bloop, 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 and it gives me 4 15-second perfect videos where my message doesn't feel discombobulated or like I'm starting and restopping and repeating myself. And what that does when people are watching is it feels more seamless. I think Instagram at some point is going to get rid of the 15-second thing and probably go to 1 minute to follow suit with Snapchat. Don't know. But if people can't tell when I'm stopping, they just keep watching, right? It's like a commercial. You keep watching, but if there's a commercial, you get up and leave. Right? So there's no break when you film continuous, and that's a great way to respond to people. To those of you who are constantly being asked the same questions over and over and giving the same responses, here's an idea. Record your answer talking to one person, one lifer, like so that you really don't come across as anything other than authentic. And then save that in your favorites on your phone, so that when people do ask that same question, boom, you already have it in little 15-second chunks and you can respond to them with that personal message. It's huge. People they're like, oh my God, wow, thank you. I mean, it's really powerful when people feel significant and noticed. That's how you can begin to take your followers and begin to convert them into customers who you adore. We good with that? These are all things that you're going to practice and play with. For those of you who are Marketing Impact Academy students, by the way, lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, and this is lesson 4. They will all go inside of your academy so you can review these later. We have little screen flows so you can understand some of these things that I'm talking about, see how we do that. Screen flows as well as photos so you can see like where these settings are and how to do these things, because I know for a lot of you haven't even been using stories, so we'll walk you through that process as well as best practices. And there's tons of content inside of the academy that teaches you how to use every platform, and there's always new features, so you don't have to figure it out. We do it for you. I want to give a shout out to those of you who I get to jump on a call with. This is exciting. New students, here we go. Marina Santos, Kelly Lee, Mary Namey, Jennifer Lengel, I think, Celine Sanchi, Elaine Flores. You guys have to tell me, like hit me up on Instagram and say you said my name wrong and send me a video and say here's how you say it, okay? Because mine is Chalene, not Shailene. All right, we're clear. All right, Celine, I already said Celine, Elaine Flores, Trisha, Shanna Wang, Grace Carter, and Trisha Manzel. This is so exciting. Do we have time for more? Can I read a few more? Okay, just a couple more. Sean Kushney, Bianca Lynch, and Josephine Amplo. Oh, bet you guys are excited. I'm super excited. So if you're feeling like that, oh, my stomach just dropped because you made the decision to do this, and your palms are all sweaty, and you feel like your heart racing, and maybe like the hair on your skin is standing up, guess what that is? Excitement. That's adrenaline. Use it. People sometimes mistake that as fear or nervousness. That's excitement. That means you are on fire. It means you've just done something you know you needed to do. You know this is going to happen. You just made a bold move. It's a big move. You should celebrate it. You should get like a bottle of champagne or sparkling grape juice, whatever is appropriate depending on what time it is where you are. And you should celebrate because this is a really friggin' big deal. Like you just got accepted to Harvard University, basically, but better, without the tuition or the uncomfortable clothes. You know what I'm saying? You literally can start digging in today. So for those of you who took that action, look in your inbox. I will immediately send you, it's automated, you'll get an immediate email from me. You'll log into the membership. You can just dig in right now. You can start today. And the lessons are super easy. You just pop in your earbuds. You can do a couple lessons, and then you can take some time off if you want. Again, this is not a program where you can fall behind because it doesn't go away. It's like a library. You're not going to read every book in the library, but it's there for you if you need it, right? That's how this works. It's unlike any other program. Okay, so questions. I want to get to some of your questions. But before I do, just got word that we're really, are we at capacity for the 50 yet?
Really close.
Okay, so just a few more spots for those people that will get the opportunity to do a Zoom call with me. So please don't wait, because I'm going to answer some questions, but if you're trying to make sure that you get one of those spots, don't wait. Jump in now. Just X out the video up above. You click the little button that says Get Started. And this will keep playing, but you get yourself registered because today is it. This, I'm not joking around. This is it. And I know you want to take advantage of that fast acting bonus where you get to jump on a Zoom call with me. All right, so let me answer some questions for folks. Rachel wants to know, how could this program be useful for a musician? Well, musicians need more followers. Musicians oftentimes want to sell their music or their ability to teach. Like we have a student who teaches people how to play guitar. We have a husband and wife musician who actually create these programs where they go into the schools and help the schools incorporate music into their teaching. So there's so many different ways this helps creatives. Like I think of a musician as someone who's like an artist. We have artists, we have people who are artists with hair, like beauticians and stylists, artists who paint, artists who create things and sell them on Etsy, and then artists who are singers and poets and speakers. In my mind, those are all creative types. And what I find to be true is that most creative types, the tech stuff tends to stop you. Like you know what you need to do, but it's not that interesting to you and you can run into roadblocks. And I refuse to let that happen. So we create really detailed, step-by-step. I mean, we are overkill. Because if you don't need it, you don't have to watch it. But for a lot of people, the tech is like what stops them. So we literally create screen flows to do the things that other programs just tell you, hey, you need to do this. We're not going to let it become an obstacle. I hope that helps, Rachel. Shanna asks, can you explain the difference between MIA and Smart Success, and do I need both to figure out what I want to do? So thank you for that question. Smart Success is an academy, another online virtual academy, but we haven't opened up registration for that in 2 years. Marketing Impact is designed to create extra income online. It's figuring out how you can leverage social media and the digital age that we live in to create passive income. Smart Success it's a lifestyle program. We teach you organization, how to understand your priorities. You're clear about what you want out of life. So it's very much a lifestyle program. Marketing Impact, we like to call it the money program. You know, it's for people who are like, okay, yeah, that's all great. That's great that I've got a real organized closet, but I need money. So this is the program that teaches you how to create extra income. Kevin wants to sign up, but needs to convince his wife. Shoes, Kevin. No, I'm wrong. No, clean. Make the bed, do the laundry, vacuum, and she'll be like, honey, you look so sexy. That's what she's gonna say. Here's what, to any of you who are trying to make that decision, and I really respect the fact that it's a joint decision. Of course, I mean, I think if you've got a partner, like, hopefully you're working together on the same team and finances are things that you talk about together. But also you're probably nervous that we're going to close before you can have this serious conversation, because timing is everything when we're talking to our spouses, right, ladies? We know when to have these conversations, ding. But if then here's what you should do. Pull the trigger, because you have 45 days, and if your partner says, there's no way we cannot do this, then you have the ability to get a full refund. But pull the trigger, because if you don't, we'll fill up and then you won't have that opportunity. And then don't bring it up right now. Bring it up after sex. It's the best timing. That's the best time if you're a woman who wants to talk to her man. If you are a man who wants to talk to his woman, then you need to clean the house. And we can go through it can be a female-female. I mean, there's so many different relationships that could be happening, but you know what I'm saying. You know your partner's love language. Oh, yes, you do. So that's the best. I mean, this isn't just a marketing impact hack. This is like a life hack right now. If there's something you want from your partner, think about the timing and think about their love language. Okay, Melissa asks, if I have a burning desire but no specific ideas, perfect. Won't MIA be overwhelming? No, not at all. I love, that's my favorite, because it's like you're a blank canvas. Sometimes people go in with just this mindset. They're like, I'm going to invent this crazy thing that nobody needs, and they're so hell-bent on it that it's hard to get them to just sit back and dream, or to realize that this really big, obvious thing is right in front of you. Carlos is such a great example of that, because he's like, I guess I have to create an academy where I'm teaching foot skills for kids that play soccer, I guess. But because he went through the process where you go through those lessons, and people say this is some of the funnest lessons and the hardest lessons because you're forced to really think about everything and put it on paper. All of your experiences, all of the amazing things that you've done, all of the tough stuff that you've been through, all of the experience, all the jobs you hated, all the businesses that failed. Look, we're gonna go through all of that and we're just gonna keep condensing it down, and it's crazy, it like pops off the page. And for those people who are like, no idea pops off the page, I'm still gonna force you to take action and think about something you like. I don't care, is it a water bottle? Then we're gonna import water bottles. And you guys, like setting up this stuff, most of it's free. To set up an email management system, most of those, they start off anyways with a free option. You can upgrade later to Pro or upgrade later to the paid version when you're ready. But okay, so let me share with you a real quick story for those of you who don't know what it's going to be. Like, this is an example of one of our students who just started importing notebooks. They're already not her design. She just orders them for like literally nothing and then sells them on Amazon, and they're already pre-made. You know, they're just blank pages, but brilliant idea, right? Because she loves them. Okay, but let me share with you this example. So one of our favorite students, who's now also an ambassador for us, Jake Bedard, he was a college student as a freshman, went through the Marketing Impact Academy. He's like, I have no idea what I would create. I don't have any time. I don't have any ideas, but I like this idea that I could just import something and sell it. So he started off by just investing like under $100 in buying jewelry, women's jewelry, set up a Shopify page. Get this, in his first year as a college student, earned over $150,000. What? Right? We love Jake. Yay, Jake. But here's the cooler thing about that. That gave him belief and confidence, like, holy cow, as a full-time college student, super busy, getting good grades, I was able to pull this off. This isn't even, I'm making money, I'm not even passionate about women's jewelry, but I am passionate about helping people in third world countries have access to water. So then he parlayed that experience and said, you know, now I can build something that actually feels like more purpose related, something I feel really proud of. And he started importing water bottles and having the proceeds go to help build wells in third world countries. I'm just so proud of Jake. We love Jake. And I want that story to inspire you, because if you don't know what it is, I don't care. If you've got the desire, we're gonna do something. And that you're never going to find your purpose. It doesn't knock on the door. Hi, your purpose is here. Like, you don't find it. You figure out what you're good at and what you like doing by doing. It's those of you who are sitting there hoping for everything to line up perfectly and that some sign from God crashes down. You're like, okay, now I know what it is. It does not work that way. Talk to anyone who's been successful. They don't do that. They just move. They make it messy. They do something and they're not very good at it. And then but they kind of like it, so they keep doing it. And then suddenly they're really good at it and they love it. And then they step into their purpose. I personally believe that it isn't our purpose. I think it's God's purpose that we're living. And so because of that, and because he knows all of the things that are going to happen to us before they ever happen to us, he intends for us to use them somehow. So it's about practicing and being not so good at things for a while until you're like, oh, I actually like this and I'm pretty good at it. And then stepping into it and then letting it evolve like Jake did. He just let it evolve. The only thing he was passionate about in the beginning was making sure he didn't graduate with a bunch of debt. That was a passion. That was his why. You need a why. You need a why do you want to do that? Do you want to do, and it doesn't have to be like grand. It can be just simple as like, I just don't want to have to struggle with our mortgage every month. I just don't want to have to feel reliant on this job that I could lose. Whatever it is, you need a why. But beyond that, it's about not being afraid to experiment. You're going to have to experiment with this stuff. If you don't take action, nothing happens. If you're just taking notes and you're going to apply some of the social media stuff, I'll see you again next year. And you'll be in the exact same place until you decide, okay, I've got two choices. I can try to figure this out myself, or I can step up because I know I can pull this off. I know I can pull this off. And you're not supposed to talk about this, but I'm going to because it was true for me. When I say you're not supposed to, like, they talk about like when you're trying to persuade people to take action that you know is going to help their lives. But this is a true story for me. When we were broke, when Brett and I had no money, like I don't mean no, we weren't at zero, we were below zero. We were $460,000 below zero. I would have loved to have been at zero. When we were at $460,000 below zero is when I had to make a decision to invest in the most expensive course I had ever taken. I had incredible guilt. I didn't know how to tell him, but I think because that was such a stretch, I had no choice but to do it. Like had that same course been free, what was there to lose? Like it kept me accountable. I'm like, I have to do this. If you have to do this, then you can't afford not to do this. And for so many people, they just think it's all going to line up. They think it's all going to be perfect. And I'm going to need to know what it is that I'm going to do. And I need to know exactly how much time this is going to take. And I think those are people who are paralyzed by fear, and you'll stay there and you'll live a life that's fine, mediocre, and you'll wonder. Don't wonder. Take action. Okay? So click the button. Click Get Started, enter in all your information, your best email address. You'll see that you have lifetime access. You can take a screenshot of all the bonuses. You'll see everything that you're getting there today. You'll look in your inbox and you will see an email confirmation from me. That will give you your password and access to our online academy. Follow up with that, we'll send you another email that will allow you to request to get into our private Facebook group. You'll see that you've got 2 free tickets to our live event, which remember it's icing on the cake. Foundational stuff happens in your academy. You'll see that you have all the bonuses I talked about today, like the other courses, the other mini courses, like Shopify. Like if you know right now, like financially, this is a stretch, get into that Shopify, get into the affiliate course or the Shopify course immediately. And set that up so you can start getting some income before your next payment is due. You've got 45 days to figure this out. 45 days of a money-back guarantee for you to dig in and go, okay, I like the way she teaches. I understand this is working for me. Get excited about the community that's there. You'll see how incredibly motivating and the creative ideas that come when you're surrounded with people like this, which you're probably not surrounded with people like this in your everyday life. So I want to get to a bunch of questions. I want to read through a bunch of these real quick. So let me take a break to get to these questions. I'm going to read through these and I'll come back and answer your questions. But in the meantime, I want you to meet Diane. Diane, probably a lot like you, was struggling to figure out like, what do I have that is special? How do I stand out? How do I create a brand? Now she is someone, with the help of her husband, decided like, okay, we don't have any choice. This is something we've got to do, and here's her story.
Everything that I've learned from Marketing Impact Academy has really helped me create a full-fledged business where we're making multiple 6-figure incomes in just a 12-month period. Revenue for us as a family last year was $250,000 to $300,000. Marketing Impact gave me exactly what I needed. I needed steps and I needed systems in place. And I wouldn't have had that confidence or that skill set had I not been at Marketing Impact. After utilizing all of the skills that I have learned through Marketing Impact, it was worth every penny and has paid us back tenfold. If you're that person that's looking at someone else and wondering why that can't be you, then you should invest in Marketing Impact Academy. Because I used to be that person, and now I'm that person that people are looking at going, wow, I wish that was me.
Awesome. So congratulations. We have a whole bunch of people who just pulled that trigger, felt that fear, jumped off the cliff. Let me say congratulations to Pam ML, I believe that's how you say it, Kimberly Kimbrough, Scott Samford, Tina Salisbury, Alan Santos, Maria Constantine, Megan Rosench, I believe. Was that? Yes. Tracy Moore, Phil Morrison, Ravicki Berger, I hope I said your name correctly, Suvita Atgobayer, Kelly Crandall, and oh gosh, they're coming in fast now. Heather Grau. I want to get back to your questions. So your names are still coming in. I promise that we'll get to you, but don't wait. We're really close to filling up. But I do want to answer a couple of your questions about Instagram. So one person asked, I am not able to make polls or the question yet on my business account. Do you know why? Don't know why. It's likely it hasn't rolled out to all accounts, but if you reinstall the app, not reinstall the app, update your app, that's one suggestion I have for you. And then sometimes if you have a business account, if you just email Instagram, sometimes you'll get that too. But those types of features, they roll out in waves. And so it just may not have reached your account first. What they tend to do is the people who are the quickest to jump on and use the new features, they give you those new features first. So that's a really good reason why you want to, like, whenever Instagram or Facebook for that matter has a new feature, use it. Even if you don't quite yet know how it's going to help your business, just use it so that they can see you're playing by their rules. Let's see. Alexander asks, Julia asks, I'm looking to help my sister set up an online course teaching for her business. Do you guys give step-by-step instructions on how to make a class? Yes, we do, and how to host it, and we give you a comparison of, like, because there's a million places you can host your course, so we're going to help you understand, like, which one's best for you. Like, there's Teachable, and there's Kajabi, and there's WordPress sites you can build, and so I lay all that out for you, and I tell you how much each one is. And I have no affiliation with them, but I show you how much each one is and the pros and cons and why we use this type and why if you're just starting out, you might want to use this type and all the features they have, So we really break it down for you and do a really great review of all those. And not only that, this is the program for your sister because you know what? If you build a course, they do not come. You can't just like build a course and they will come. It just does not work that way. And so many people build the wrong course. So one of the things that we do after those 8 foundational pieces is we help you understand how to tap into your audience so that they're co-creators. So that your audience is telling you, okay, here's what we want. Here's what it should be priced at. Here's the format that we want it in. We want video or we want audio or we want screen flows or we want it to be a live event. Like, you don't want to today. Listen, coming from someone who's been an entrepreneur and selling things and in different business, 8 different industries for the last 25 years, you don't want to create anything, nothing, until you know that there's a market for it and it's the right market and it's the right price and it's the right offer. And in the past, myself included, wasted so much money thinking that I knew what people would want and then creating it. And investing tons of time and money only to find out that's not what people wanted. Today, you do not and you should not, and I won't let you do that. I'm going to teach you how you can use focus groups. The focus groups of our other members inside the academy. The focus groups of the people who are already following you. Like, I let my social media following tell me exactly what they want next. They decide. I don't decide that for them because you're already a little bit further ahead, so it's kind of even hard to remember what it is people struggle with. But I'm going to teach you how to do that. It's such a time saver and such a money saver. I'm so glad that question came up. Shayna asked, do you send any responses to the folks who wouldn't be your lifers or just to the ones who would really convert to lifers? I feel like a ton of my customer service is with people who I wouldn't consider to be my lifer. That's a really good question because I know what you mean. I would say I do, because I try not to judge a book by its cover, because a lot of my lifers don't look like me at first glance. I'm listening for things in their conversation where it's like, okay, they're not ready, this is not the right person, it's just, there's something in me that says, we're not a match. You're not gonna like me. You know what I mean? So but I do try to give people the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, after a period of time, you can pretty much tell. And then you're wasting the energy that you have that you should be delivering to the people who really need your help. And sometimes they're not the ones who are the quickest to reach out to you. Like the neediest tend to need the most. Have you noticed that? So you have no obligation to keep responding to those people. Take care of your lifers. Those are the ones, it's like you've got a big circle of friends, but in that circle of friends, there's some where you're like, they just don't make my life better. They bring me down, they're negative, I can't change their minds or who they are. So you invest your time in the people who lift you up, and the same is true of your customers. I invest my time in those who I can help. Emily asks, is it okay to have more than one focus? Absolutely. Have you met me? Have you met me? So I don't believe that we should pigeonhole ourselves into one thing. That's not very fun, and it's a lot of pressure, and I think that's why people are afraid to jump. So if you look at even myself, people will say to me like, oh wow, you're always reinventing yourself. I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't reinvent. I am the same person I am with more experience as I've always been. But I'm always going to share whatever I've just been through. So that might be a nutrition program like the 131 method, or that might be how to build an online business that creates extra income for you. Those are all things I'm passionate about. I'm also very passionate about fashion, and I'm also very passionate about productivity. And if I can serve other people, every single one of those areas has created an additional stream of income for me. Every single one of those areas has earned me more than 7 figures. So if you're limiting yourself to just one interest, you're limiting your earning potential. Next question was Adrian, who asked, should I be following the customers that follow me? As I said, only if they are your target customers and they have probably a bigger following than you in most cases, or at least a sizable following. Like if there's someone, they've got influence and you can tell that your lifers are interacting with them, then it's a good idea to follow them. But I don't think we should give people the I want to say like the mercy following, like, oh, I'll just follow them because I want them to be my customer. I don't think that's authentic, and it certainly isn't going to help your account. Right now, in other words, to show up on the Explore page, if our goal is to reach more followers, right, we want to have our stuff populate at about the same time other people's content is populating that our lifer is looking for. So think about what your lifer is looking for. If your lifer is a mom and she's 35 and you're trying to find the right person for your network marketing organization, and she's feeling bad about her body and she's feeling bad about her finances, what type of content are you populating your page with that's of interest to her, right? Like, or is some of the stuff that you're producing, is it too intimidating? Is it not what she's looking for? You really have to know your lifer, and that's one of the very first things that we'll do together. Brian asks, what is the lifer for someone who's in affiliate marketing? Well, what are you affiliating for, right? So I'm not an affiliate for certain things that I love, but I should be. So for example, I constantly talk about huggable hangers, my Vitamix blender. What else do I talk about, honey? The places where I shop online. Lashes, shoes, Amazon, lotions. Like, so all of these things, if I had signed up to be an affiliate for all those things, because I sell a boatload of those every time I talk about how I use it and why I use it, but I choose personally not to be an affiliate marketer, but 99% of the people that you're watching online that you're following because you like that person, you also want to know what they use. And you don't care if they get a few extra bucks because you bought it from their link. So your lifer is the person who's going to be attracted to the kinds of things that you're posting about, which is why it's really important that you sign up to be an affiliate for things that you really use. And you can be honest about using them. And you can be honest about disclosing the fact that you're an affiliate for them. So I think about some of the people that I watch online, like there's a beauty gal on, a couple of beauty people that I follow on YouTube, and they will say, okay, all the product links are below the video, and I click on them and I buy right from those. You know why? Because I trust that person. They've built that trust with me where I know that they're giving an honest review. So I know I can click on that link, and who cares? I'm going to buy it anyways. I'd rather buy it from their link. So a lot of people asking, will this work if I have a physical business? And we have countless examples of those, like physical therapists. Greg, who was able to 6x his business And not just by driving in more traffic, which eventually he did, but he was able to create a program that would serve people out, even when he wasn't in the office. You know, we've got nail salons, microblading eyebrows, like places that you would think a brick and mortar business, like how are they going to reach, don't they need to just reach people in their little vicinity? Yes. That helps if you want more foot traffic, and we help you do that. But beyond that, it's figuring out that there are additional streams of income for like my hairdressers, my massage therapists, doctors, lawyers, therapists. There are additional streams of income that will change your life because you don't have to work so hard. Like right now, if you have to be there to earn money, you're at your max. You reached your peak. So we want to help you tap into additional streams. What if I have no social media following? Perfect. Perfect. You know why? Because you won't be distracted. You'll probably be my all-star. Because I actually want to invite most of you to take a break from social to get these basics done. Because the quicker you get these basics done, then you're going to dig into all the social media content that we have for you. But it doesn't do you any good to dig into the social media until you have those basics set up. So you're actually sitting in probably the best spot. And you know why? Because a lot of people are watching right now, even if you have a big social media following, if it's not converting for you, you probably need to rebuild it. We need to revamp it. We need to rebrand it. We need to figure out, we need to go through those basic steps, and a lot of your social is going to change. A lot of people just say, I just don't know what to do. And that's, as I've mentioned, that's fine. It's great if you don't know what to do. It means you're a blank palette. And it means that the world is your oyster. We can come up with a million different ideas. However, to be transparent, you must have a desire. You must want to do this and believe you can pull it off. And you must be willing to daydream and to think and to try and to have some things go, that wasn't it, and not give up. This won't cost you money, but it will take time for you to understand, like, okay, no, that's not really it, and go back to the drawing board. That's how you succeed. There is no success without some failures, a lot of them. So the quicker we can get you through those experimental times, the faster, the better. How long before you can see results? It depends, right? I don't know. Are you an action taker? Then you're going to see results very quickly. And if you don't take action, you won't see results. Just being honest. How much time will this take me? Again, totally up to you. Last night I was going through comments from our new members, and it was just funny because some were like, I've watched every single lesson. And they were like showing pictures of like their notebooks already. I'm like, wow. I mean, this person hasn't gotten up from the table in days. And then there are those who are like, I just watched one lesson, and that one lesson about lifers blew my mind and changed everything I thought I knew about my business I've been in for 20 years. So like that one lesson, honestly, that person that did that one lesson, what they should probably do is go run with that and not even take in any more lessons right now. They should just go run with that because they've got all these ideas and all the changes they need to make. And that's how I designed this, so that you don't fall behind, so that it sparks that action and you do something about it and you see the results. So again, this is your opportunity today. I'm about to wrap up, but I want to make sure that you understand exactly what you get. Okay, this is an opportunity that only is available once a year when we open to the public, and we are part of that celebration is to do these live trainings and to teach everybody, even those people who don't believe the time is right for them now. By joining today, though, you will have lifetime access. You're my student. You join a membership of the coolest, most creative, supportive people who are just like you, many of whom had no idea what they were doing at first, but they had belief, they had desire. You'll immediately have access when you hit get started. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to focus on those basics. You're going to see all your bonuses. You're going to see all those mini courses. And my fear is that you'll dig into them, but I don't want you to. Because they're going to be there forever. They're not going to go away. I want you to do those 7 basics with me so that we can get through the process. Each week, I'm going to send you a group of lessons. You don't have to get through them in a week. You can get through one if you want. You can listen to none of them because it's a crazy week. They're not going anywhere, but I unlock them one at a time. Why? To keep you accountable, right? Because you and I both know if we started with social media, you'd be right back exactly where you are today. We're gonna do the stuff that matters. That's gonna make you money. Each one of those, each week, you'll get an email from me, and we will dig into that content. You can listen to them on your earbuds, you can watch the video or the screen flow if that's available, or you can read the transcript, you can do all three. And then you'll print out a PDF that's part of your workbook. And that is really golden, because that becomes your blueprint. If you've struggled with like, okay, I don't know what to do next, I don't know my next step, the struggle's over. This is your action plan. Now, each one of you had the opportunity to ask, like as you're going through the lessons, if you're like, I'm still not clear, you ask your question underneath that lesson, and that's where you get your replies. Instead of getting lost in a Facebook group, because we've all been in those, right? Where you have a question, but it's, no one sees it because there's somebody in there complaining about their cat, right? So I ain't got time for that, and I'm not gonna waste your time. So when you have a question, you ask it right underneath the lesson, and you'll get your reply. Not only that, it's so cool that there's so many people in there like connecting. Like, you know, my opinion is one opinion, but man, when you've got so many other people reading that same question and giving you feedback, like priceless. That alone is priceless. Our live event is sometime in the spring. For those of you who will not be able to attend, no worries. Like I said, it's super fun. People come from all over the globe, but it is icing. You're getting the foundation inside the academy. And as for the live event, if you can't make it, because I know some of you are out of the country, or maybe it falls on the wrong weekend or whatever, we will send you the digital recording from this year's event so you can watch it when it's convenient and not have to arrange for a sitter. You have lifetime access. You also can get started today. One payment of $357, 5 additional after that. So one payment of $357, you start digging. You go today, action. You take that action. No more wasting $10,000 on another course, or $50,000, which someone told me they spent yesterday on a mastermind that they had no business being in. Or the people who tell me they have business degrees, MBAs, and they have no clue how to make money online. You don't have to spend $200,000 and rack up more educational debt. In fact, for students, this is a way for you to figure out how to make extra income and still be a student, or still work full-time, or still be home with your kids. Maybe you're not going to turn this into a business. Maybe you're just going to turn this into extra income, that plan B. You just never know what's going to happen and how many interesting turns and routes and sprouts and different shoot-offs of passive income that you will discover as you go through this process. This is right for you if you need more customers. This is right for you if you want to create extra income and you don't know where to start. This is right for you if you've been doing this meaning trying to build an online business, and you're sick of the struggle and you really want someone who's honestly going to share their answers and give you options. I'm not going to just tell you exactly what to do. I'm going to tell you here's the best path, but here's some things that you can consider so that you can make the right decision for you. This is for you if you know you deserve more. If you cannot afford to continue to be in debt, if you cannot afford to waste another year or more money only to find out that you still didn't have the basics in place, you still didn't have the foundation, or that the content that you signed up for was outdated, this is for you. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be awesome on camera. You know, we have countless examples of people who are never on camera. They don't end up selling their own thing, but they figure out how to leverage social media and digital marketing to create extra income. From 15-year-olds to 79-year-olds. We have 79-year-olds who've gone through the program and created their own courses. So cool. This is for you if you want to develop a product, if you want to know if you're looking for something that serves you, like I said, the basics are here, and I'm going to force you to get through those. Full disclosure, I'm going to make you get through the basics first, but everything back here, when I say back here, it's like we have so much content in this program, name it. Name it. Other than teaching you how to lip dub, how to do a lip sync, it's covered in this program. From advertising to affiliate marketing to, oh my gosh, we were talking about yesterday, like marketing a book, doing an infomercial, selling online, selling live, figuring out how to write your email. Like, we literally give you the copy to write emails, the copy for a sales page, what all these terms mean. Because if you're like me when I was first starting out, I'm like, what do these words even mean? Like, I didn't know what conversion meant, or an opt-in page, or an optimized mobile, like what? I just want to help people. So I break all that down for you. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, today's the day. And I want to congratulate those of you who will be jumping on that call with me. I want to say thank you to those of you who felt the fear. And today was a day that you thrust yourself forward. Because that's what we have to do, right? The only difference, let me end by saying this. The only difference between the people who watch year after year after year and say to themselves, I'm going to save the money to do this. I really appreciate the teaching. I love it, but it's not the right time for me. The difference between those people and the people who each year you hear me bragging about their success, like telling you about their businesses, promoting their businesses, the difference between them and you is one felt the exact same thing you're feeling right now, but they're like, I'm going for it. I can pull this off. That's what they did. That's the only difference, because they're in the same situation as you. They felt the same things as you. They had the same struggles. They had the same financial concerns. They had the same self-doubt, but they said, I can pull this off. And just for a moment, they made that scary decision, and it keeps you accountable. So today is your day to decide if that's you. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you inside the Academy. Click that button, and let's get started. Want to help people, and that's why you're here. Regardless of whether you're selling a Snapchat Academy, a pair of insoles, or a beautiful necklace. We don't buy products. We buy emotion. We buy story. We buy a feeling. Everything starts with who and what. Who is it that you want to attract? What is the story that you're sharing?
There are no accidents. You were meant to be here. Just one idea can take your business and your life to the next level when you act on it. Sometimes things happen to you and you go, this makes no sense. Why did this happen to me? How many of you have made it through your difficult thing? Your success rate is 100%. The purpose behind our challenges, I believe, is to serve others. You are the person to help others figure it out.
One thing that I've really taken away from this is I went to Ohio State University, got a 4-year degree in business, and never second-guessed spending like $60,000 on college. And you don't get any of this information at the college level. So there's one thing I could do, I would go back and tell people about this amazing opportunity.
What's incredible about Marketing Impact Academy is that Chalene is one of the best teachers I know in the world. So she gives you the right things to do in the right order in a way that you can understand and implement. That's how MIA is. You're going to get results, hands down. Period.
We took our list from 0 to 500 in just 1 month, which I was just blown away. With a 2-day marketing lead-in, we made $7,000 in 1 week, and for me that was just amazing. Like, we tripled our income.
Last year, I was working full-time as a waitress. Now I own a media company, and I truly believe I was able to start this business because of the Marketing Impact Academy. I bought the Academy in March, and by September, I quit my job as a waitress and did this full-time. And from September to now, I've doubled my income.
It's a blueprint. You want to build the house of your business the right way. You don't start with the paint. You start with the foundation, and you build on that. And when you do it the right way, then you have solid footing.
I would not have a business if it weren't for Marketing Impact Academy, and it has just been something that has brought so much to my life and so much to my family.
Marketing Impact absolutely works. The investment keeps coming back 100-fold for me, 1,000-fold for me. It's the best investment that I made to learn all of the foundational steps I needed to learn that I had no idea of when I started. And I'm still using that amazing Marketing Impact Academy blueprint to take my business to the next level every single year.
Just within those first few modules, I saw a shift in my business. By plugging into Marketing Impact Academy, I've learned how to really implement a one-to-many model. And by doing so, I'm reaching more people, I'm changing more lives, I'm training people faster. It's just completely changed my lifestyle and my business. Since plugging into Marketing Impact Academy, we've tripled our business. I can unplug from my business without it impacting my finances because of the systems that I've learned in Marketing Impact Academy.
With Marketing Impact, no matter what your product is, whether it's maybe a thing you have to sell or a skill set or a training, you can plug and play. Marketing Impact is for everyone, all walks of life, all ages, all skill sets, all backgrounds.
You don't have to be this cookie cutter entrepreneur, and you don't have to be the next star or the next celebrity, but you can make an influence in your inner circle with where you are, with what you have right now.
Time is an issue. I get the opportunity to watch a video, take in a concept, then go and apply it, and then come back and do the next step, and that really works well for me. Had I been trying to do this on my own without the guidance, it would have taken so much longer for me to get to the point that I am.
I don't regret my investment for 1 second. And making that initial purchase was really difficult for me. Even though right now it seems really scary, and you might think that there's someplace else that money should be spent, but if you're serious about growing your business, then this is definitely where you should be spending your money.
I truly believe that when I think about how much my time is worth, MIA is going to pay back so quickly. I know is definitely worth it.
I can tell you that in that initial buy now, that investment, it will pay you back. It will pay you back, and it's the most beautiful thing to see your dreams be a reality like that.
You have 2 questions to ask yourself. 1, are you comfortable and happy where you're at today? Or 2, do you want to do something more and make a difference and have a bigger, more powerful effect in your life and on other people? Then Marketing Impact Academy is for you. So you have to be willing to take those steps. And that first step is sometimes the biggest jump, but it's well worth it in the end.
We invest in what we prioritize. And I think that if I was on the fence, I would just say, I can cut a lot of other things, especially for a season, so that I can change the rest of my life. If I have to live today like no one else, so I can live later like no one else, then I'm gonna do it.
If you're scared to death to spend the money on it, do it anyways. Do it anyways and invest in yourself, because you are always going to wonder. And God will never stop prompting you. He will never stop prompting you to do the thing that you're supposed to do. So you have a choice. You can do it right now, or you can just keep waiting and keep waiting, but it's not going to go away.
Marketing Impact has taken us to a whole nother level now.
If you do Marketing Impact Academy, I promise you, you will never regret it.
I say go for it. I say go for it.